Good afternoon, everyone. At this time, I'll call this meeting of the South Central Pennsylvania Genealogical Society to order. My name is Richard Conkle. I'm the president of the society, and we're happy to start a new program year today. This is technically our September meeting. Do we have anyone here today who's never been at one of our meetings? Okay, I'm not seeing any hands go up, so I assume not. At this time, I will have our secretary, Jerry Smith, who will give us minutes from the last meetings.
Okay, minutes from the June 2021 meeting. As May's meeting was held off-site, there were no minutes for that. June's general meeting took place the 6th of June, 2021 at the York History Center. 11 persons attended in person and the program was live streamed. Prior meeting minutes were read and accepted. Those would be from April. The treasurer reported a balance of $17,869.09 at the end of May. Membership showed 193 members as of the meeting date. Nicole Smith provided an overview of the upcoming York History Center programs. All of the programs are being live streamed. Vice President Jonathan Stayer provided an update on our upcoming programs. The program in June was the history of the Henry James Young Award, and there were multiple presenters.
Apologies.
Just rejoining the live stream. I guess maybe the Facebook wasn't on or went off. So at this point, our treasurer, Margaret Berg, will give us a treasurer's report as well as a membership report.
The treasurer's report will be for July and August. Balance at July 1st, 2021 was $18,597.09. Receipts for July, membership $275, publication sales $46 for a total of $321. Disbursements were to the postmaster for the post office box rent for 1 year, $322. Cash balance at July 31st, 2021 was $18,596.09. And that was the balance on August 1st. Receipts for August were membership renewals, $295, publication sales, $28.80 for a total receipts of $323.80. Disbursements to Becky Ann Stein for miscellaneous mailings, $14.40. Postal connections for the July-August newsletter, $169.67. Total disbursements, $184.07. And the cash balance at August 31st, well, actually, I should say August 29, that's today, $18,735.82. Membership, as of today, we have 132 renewals, non-renew 50, life members 18, family life members 2, and family of the number of memberships are 13 families. Okay.
Thank you, Margaret. At this time, Nicole Smith, librarian and archivist from the York County History Center, will give us an update on news from that organization.
Hello, everyone. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We're trying something new today. Welcome and thank you all for coming. If you're watching at home and you have any questions for our speaker, please type them in the Zoom chat or comments on Facebook. We'll check them at the end of the presentation. All of our programs and webinars are being live streamed to the History Center Facebook page and recorded on the History Center YouTube page if you'd like to watch it later. A couple announcements. We have a lot going on in September. September 2nd is Writers Roundtable. The speaker is Dominish Marie Miller, and she'll be speaking about preserving the history of Newberry Township. That's both in person and online. September 15th is the York Civil War Roundtable. The speaker is Matt Borders, who will be speaking about the Third Confederate Invasion of 1864. That's both in person and online. September 16th is the annual membership meeting and awards of the York County History Center. Saturday, September 18th, we'll be offering an oral history training session for volunteers. Anyone interested in volunteering for the History Center to do oral history interviewing, please check that out, September 18th. And September 24th is the History Center Art and Leisure Disco Inferno fundraising event and auction. So be sure to check that out too. Please go to our website, yorkhistorycenter.org, for info on all of our programs and to make registration. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Vice President, Jonathan Stair, who will introduce today's speaker and give us information about upcoming programs in our program year.
Guess I'm a little taller than the rest of you. Well, Aaron, you can adjust this and suit you. Just keep in mind next month, which is September, which is only a couple of days away, we will not have a meeting. Our next meeting will be the first Sunday in October, October the 3rd. Our own Nicole Smith will be speaking about genealogical resources here at the History Center's Library and Archives. And this presentation is made at the request of some people after they heard what Cumberland County has to offer. They wanted to know what York County has to offer. And so I'm glad that she can do that. On November the 7th, which again is the first Sunday in November, we will have Scott Mingus, who has the Cannonball blog here in York County. You're probably familiar with his work. He's going to be speaking about the churches and chaplains of York County during the Civil War. And then we will have no meeting in December. And I'll give you the programs for next year at a future meeting. Our speaker today is no stranger to us. He is Aaron McWilliams, who's head of public services at the Pennsylvania State Archives. He previously spoke to us about militia records, I think a year or two ago. And also in the spring, he spoke to us about what the State Archives has. And as a result of his presentation, myself and others felt it might be good if he could show how you can use the State Archives website to find information about their holdings and also what records they might have online. His expertise at the State Archives, in addition to just being in charge of reference in general, he's known for his ability and understanding of state land records, also, of course, the Revolutionary War militia. And he's probably the only archivist who has appeared on national, if not international television in one of the Who Do You Think You Are segments. My claim to fame is I'm in the background at a microfilm cabinet. Aaron's the one they were actually talking to at that time. And I think he was actually on two of them. He also has provided some research for, I think, both Who Do You Think You Are and Finding Your Roots. So he's well known for that. And he's been on the WITF's Radio Smart Talk several times as well. So without further ado, Aaron, come and tell us about how to navigate the State Archives online resources.
Let's see here. There we go. A little bit higher for me, but we're still working. Well, thank you all for having me. Yes, I've been here several times now, and it's great to be back. It's great to see people, face to face. It's been a while since that. We've done a lot of Zoom, and we're doing some Zoom today. But we're going to be discussing what we have online. In the past year, 2 years, even when Jonathan was there, we started throwing up more and more things online, and it keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it can be quite the maze. to find out exactly what we have with all these new things rolling out and keeping up with what's new and coming on our website. So hopefully after this presentation, you'll have a better idea. You guys are going to be the guinea pigs. This is the first time I've done this presentation, and I don't know the best way to put it out there. There's a lot of information, and you can quickly go down the rabbit hole into our catalog. So hopefully it'll go smoothly, and you guys can let me know if it doesn't, and I can certainly make improvements going forward. So thank you for being my guinea pigs today. So I'm going to now try and share my screen, and we will begin. All right. So we're going to be talking about our online records, and we'll try and cover how to navigate them. We're going to be talking about 3 resources, and there's really 3 ways to get into our online collections. While we have these 3, there are multitudes of ways to actually access them through our website and other sites. I'm going to be covering what works for me and how I access the records and use the records, but there isn't one correct way. What I want for you to take from this is the very basics of where these records are located, how to initially navigate them, and you will learn as you use those resources more and more, the best way that works for you to navigate them. The major 3 are our online catalog, the Arch. We also have the digital collections, and then our research guides. Those are the 3 main online resources we have, and we're going to cover all 3 of those as we go through the presentation. Now, the first thing I'll tell you, and it'll be repeated throughout the presentation, is all 3 of those resources, the catalog, our online collection, digital collections, and our research guides can all be accessed right from our landing page. This is just the PA State Archives landing page by clicking on Research Online. Again, it's not the only way, but it's the simplest way. You click on that link, and it will take you right into all the other links that will take you to the catalog, records, and research guides. Yep.
For some reason, the Zoom is sticking in the first slide,
Okay.
and it's not changing.
All right,
So I don't know if we can knock
All right.
it out of the slideshow.
So I'll stop it and then try back in.
Yeah.
That's no problem.
Maybe if we can just leave it on that mode.
Okay, like that. That's it. Yep.
Gosh. All right, then we can click on the screen.
All right, does that come up on there? All right. There we go. All right, so we'll just use that for the Zoom. That's all right. If you were to click on Research Online, that will take you right to the Research Online page where you can access the catalog, the online digital collections, and our research guides. Again, it's not the only way to access them. It's just the simplest, most direct way that I have found to access those records. And I'll repeat this throughout the presentation and take you through it. So the first thing that we're going to cover is Arch. This is our Archives Research Central Hub. We don't refer to it as that too often. We usually refer to it as Eloquent, which is the system that it's based off of. It is the finding aid to our collection. It replaced our previous one that was the Archon catalog. This went into the live version in January of 2021 is when we started using this particular software for our finding aids. It replaced all the prior ones. So Archon, if you had any old links that you used to use to our old finding aids, those aren't going to work anymore. You're going to have to recreate these links through the new catalog that we have. What you'll find with this catalog is its hierarchical structure. It is very hierarchical in nature. It has many layers, just like an onion. And I have a couple layers just listed there. At the highest level, the most broad overview, you have the collection, then you have a group, subgroup, series, container, folder, item. What does this all mean? It means you have a lot of clicks. in many cases, to get down from that top down to the record that you're looking. The old catalog was set up something similar. There was a few less clicks, but that's what it all means. It's just a lot of clicks to get where you want. The other thing that it means is it's not necessarily intuitive. If you do a search in there, who knows where those results are going to take you in that hierarchical structure? If you do a search, you might get a hit on something that takes you in the item level. Okay, that doesn't really tell you much. Now you're in the weeds. You can't really see what you're dealing with. You might get another search that takes you to the series, the collection. So that hierarchical structure makes it difficult for first-time users to get adjusted to it and know what they're looking at. Over time, you'll eventually adjust to it. And with the instructions that we do today, hopefully you'll have a better sense of how to possibly navigate those many layers and know how to dig your way out if you end up at the item level and you don't know what you're looking at. And finally, A numbers. In the past, if you used our catalog, you were looking for the slot location. If you're going to come and visit, you wanted to pull a record, you found a record in our catalog and you wanted to take a look at it, you would have to try and find the slot locations. Well, in the new catalog, there's no more slot locations. What you're looking for, if you're coming to the archives to look at our records, you're looking for an A number. And there's an example there. It's usually a 7-digit number with an A in front. These are assigned to every carton and box that we have in our collection. At least they're working to it. Some of them aren't up live, and we can talk about that later. But that's the number you're going for. That is the new slot location that you're trying to find if you come to the archives. With that number, we can find the slot location. We can have it pulled and brought down to you. So that in mind, I'm going to switch over to the internet and I'm going to walk you through Arch. So I'm going to stop share. Oh yeah, that's the the other page. Whiteboard iPhone. I don't see it on there now.
Sorry.
That's no problem. I think that may have gotten wiped out.
Yeah.
There we go.
That page.
Okay. Does it show it on there? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, thank you for bearing with me. Technical difficulties, here we go. All right, so with our catalog, like I said in the beginning, starting from our landing page, we're gonna click on research guides, or research online, I'm sorry, research online. What that's gonna do, it's gonna take us to the page that's gonna have the link, again, to the catalog, our digital collections, and our research guides, but we're gonna start with our online catalogs. The first thing I'd like to mention is under there's going to be 2 links. You have Get to Know Our New Catalog and Browse or Search a New Catalog. If you've used our catalog before, even if you haven't, I suggest to click on Get to Know Our New Catalog and explore that. That page is going to go over the very basics of our catalog. It'll tell you what government record are, non-government record is. It's going to tell you the different logic statements that you can use in there, and it'll explain what each of the fields are in our search fields. So for browse, or if you're using keyword search, it's going to cover all those advanced search features there, and even have little simulations to show you how you put the information in. It's the best place to start to get a very basic knowledge of how to search our catalog and what each field does. And for that reason, I'm not going to go in depth of each individual field. You can read about what each one is right on this page, but it's a definite place to start. Like I said, it'll go into depth under browse, under how to research online, and it even cover some of the logic statements that you can use, wildcard and quotation marks and everything, and how those work. See if I can get. I can't get to mine. Let me do it. Yeah. Yeah, it's blocking me. All right, there we go. All right. So we're going to dive into the catalog. All right. So this is the landing page for our catalog. We are now in Arch, or what we refer to at the archive usually as Eloquent. This is our catalog. Now, before telling you all the different search features, how to do search, and some of the tips that I have for search, I find it easiest to start with what the online catalog pages look like in the different layers that you're going to be dealing with. So I'm just going to bring up just one of our collections, and I'll explain all the different pages that you're going to encounter so you have a better idea of how the hierarchical nature works with these. All right, so what I put in was record group 47. You don't really need to remember that, but it's for our county governments. And that's what we're going to start with to take a look at it. Right now, I'm going to dive into the county. Once it's uploaded, there we go. So we are starting in our catalog at the collection level, the very highest level. And I'm going to work down and show you what it looks like. Like I said, there's a hierarchy structure to it. So you enter in through, let's say, the collection. It's going to create a page. This is a collection page. It's going to tell you about the collection. And then it's going to list what it consists of in the collection. I'm just going to click on Adams County. So keep this in mind. That's the first page, the collection page. I click on Adams County. It pulls up another page. This is going to be the group. If you're ever wondering what it is, you have the group. You're always going to have the hierarchy listed there. So you always know where you are as you're going down or up through all the layers of our finding aid. So now you have a group page. Now I'm interested in the clerk of courts. Click on that, and that's going to bring up the subgroup page. Now you're getting a sense of all the clicks that you're going to do when you're browsing through this collection. Every single layer is going to have a page to it. And if you do a search of the catalog, you could land on any one of these pages depending on your search keyword or advanced search feature that you use. So looking at the hierarchy, I've gone through the collection page, I've gone through the group page, I'm now in the subgroup page, I'm under clerk of courts, and these are all the series listed that we have under county governments, Adams County, clerk of courts. These are all the different series that we have. And if you click on the series, it's going to pull up another page specific to the series. You can see how many clicks you're actually going to be going through to get through them. And each page is going to have a little bit more information, a little bit different information that you're going through. And eventually, you click down through, we're now through the series, we're going to get to where we're starting to see our A numbers because we finally got to the boxes. It took all those levels, collection, group, subgroup, series, until we finally got to a level of a box. And if I wanted to, I could click on that A number and it would tell me what's in that box in varying degrees of information. Now, not every collection is going to be like this. If I went under Comptroller General's office, they don't have the group subgroups. It goes right from the collection to the series. Every collection is going to be a little bit different in the pages, but they're going to all have similar entries like you have here: repository, scope and content, hierarchy is where you can find where you're at, consists of, and then system of arrangement and so forth through it. This gives you a sense of, like I said, the layers that you have to go through with the catalog, and to be aware of that when you're doing a search in our catalog. You can end up anywhere within here. Now, I'll tell you some tips to specifically find a place within these catalogs, but it is a maze, and it can be a maze when you're going through this new catalog. All right, so that is just to show you the pages themselves. Now, if we wanted to search, we have two options. We have keyword and browse. The featured content down here is just an exhibit. If you're ever interested in seeing select documents from our collection with a little bit of information about it, you can view those. Every now and then we'll do a special exhibit. We did one for the farm show under featured collection. We did one for the charter chats. We did that. You can browse those and take a look at those. They're fairly static, and I don't really consider them part of our online resources really, but you can certainly take a look at them at your leisure time. But browse and the keyword are going to be what we're going to be dealing with. Now, browse is very simple. Everybody knows what browse is. You can basically browse either by collection, all collection, government collection, creators, or topics. The first three, all collections, government collections, and non-government collections, they only browse at the collection level. If we've used our old catalogs in the past, where you went under record group or manuscript group, and then you went under the different series within there, if you're used to that, browsing can be the best way to enter our collection. If you go under all collection, if I were to click on government collection, if I wanted to look under any record group, any government collection, I could go on here and I could browse. You have a search feature, only search as a title, but you're also going to have an alphabet across the top. If I was interested in Department of Education, I could click on E for education. And it'll eventually pull up a page that's going to have education along with all the other record groups in our collection that start with E, Environmental Hearing Board, Environmental Resources Department. And I can click on there and go, yes.
We're going to take questions.
Sure.
For those of us who are really ancient, is there a place we can go where it says record group 1, record group 2, scan it, and then drill into this? Or do we have to do a search if we don't remember that 47 is county government?
You would have to do a search. There isn't a listing that will list out the numbers like the old pages did where it was 1, 2, 3, 4. No.
I've been looking for it.
Yes, no, there isn't. No, there isn't one like that right now. Right now, it is just the browse feature like this. If you're going for the old record group or manuscript group numbers, it's the browse. So you kind of have to remember what it is, or search. Now, if you have the number, there is a way to get to it directly with the number. So if I said if I have 47, I can hop right down in there. But yes, getting that number is the issue. So it'd be browse by the name of whatever the department is, or collection, or search by that name. And there's ways to narrow it down so you only get 1 or 2 results by searching. But from here, I can click, and that takes me in the collection level, and then I can start again working my way down through the different layers, the subgroups, and series to see what I can find. Sure.
Show you what's at the museum, or can you actually find digital records?
This will take you to what we have. You can find within there links to what we have online. Within the collection, we have put links if it is digitally available online, but I find that to be not as efficient. And I'll show you another quicker way to get to exactly what do we have online. But you can get it through the catalog. You'll just have to, again, go through those levels to get to the point where there'll be an entry that'll say if it's online or not for it. So you can browse that way, either for the whole collection, a government or non-government, which would be manuscript groups. The other two are creators and topics. Now, creators themselves, most people don't know who the creator is of a particular collection. So I don't really use that much, and I don't expect many other people use that link as much either. And it's not all encompassing, meaning it doesn't capture most of the record groups. So it doesn't cover much of the government collections at all if you use creator. It captures only some, so it's not an efficient way to do it. But you can certainly look in there, explore if you think you know the creator of a particular collection that we have. Topics, on the other hand, may be useful. Topics, it's basically a whole list of varying topics. It'll give you an alphabet list. You can click on M and look for military. You can click on T for tavern licenses. It's got a whole range of different topics. The issue I have with it is the choice of topics is done by the program, I believe, itself, and they don't always make sense. For instance, You know, I might be interested in the War of 1812. I look under W. There is a topic thing for War of 1812. If I'm interested in Revolutionary War, there isn't. You have it scattered across a number of different topical headings. So keep that in mind when you're going through that. You might have to think of other possible things, not only Revolutionary War, but you might say, okay, well, I have to look under militia. I'll have to look under line. I'll have to look under a variety of different things. But it's one way to access our records. If you would happen to click on any one of these, it would take you to the series level. And that's what the topic actually grabs, is a series level. It doesn't capture the collections. It's just series of themselves. The browsing is probably the best for individuals not familiar with the catalog. That's the way I recommend, because you can enter at the collection level and go down and get some familiarity with it. That's what I use. I usually start at the collection and work my way down to see what I can find within it. But again, that's not the only possible way you can search. You can do keyword. That's what most people do. That's how most people enter our catalog, is by doing a simple keyword search. If I were to do tavern licenses and just do a basic search of that, it will pull up a list of collections, series. It'll grab everything in our collection that references tavern licenses. Doesn't matter what level, item level, series level. If it's in a collection description, it'll be noted in there. Anywhere where there is on one of those pages a reference to tavern licenses, it's going to grab. If I just do a basic keyword search, depending on what term you're searching, that's not a bad thing. There's only 41 here. That's not bad. I can easily flip through and see if there's anything of interest in the 41. But if you put Supreme Court, I'm interested in Supreme Court, you're going to get over 600 hits. And it's going to be all over the catalog. And it's just going to be amazed to try and find where you're at in there. If I scroll down here, tavern licenses, there's a couple that are hit. They have little descriptions on it that are very useful. But you also get ones that pop up like this, the tavern license court docket. It's in record group 47. That tells me nothing. It goes at the item level. There's no description at the item level. I would need to click on that to take a look at it. And if you typed in Supreme Court, you would get a lot of hits like this, where you're going to have to click on it and look at it and go through the hierarchy to find it. So if I were to click on it and bring that entry up, it will give me to the item page. Okay, from the hierarchy, I can see that it's county government, Westmoreland County. It's the tavern license court dockets. If I want a description, here's the A number. So I got that. If I was interested in it, I have that now that I could go in and request that record if I wanted to look at it on site. If I would click on the series, I should get a description. And be able to get more information about what it is. If I was confused about what the pathonetary was, I could click on that, and I'm going to that page then, and it'll tell me more about, well, is there any more stuff under pathonetary? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of records under pathonetary's office beyond the tavern. And I can work my way all the way up to the county government until I get to, again, the list of the different counties. And that's what you kind of have to do when you do the search feature. You're gonna have to click on it, and then you may need to go up in those levels to find out what you're looking at in our collection. It is a maze, it can be. You can get all messed up within there. But keep in mind, every page is going to have a hierarchy that'll allow you to go slowly up to gain your footing as to where you are located in our catalog, no matter what you click on. Now, you can be advanced, clicked on advanced search, and that gives you more options. I'm going to clear that out here. But I have to warn you about the advanced. You do have to come in with some knowledge to use the features in it. You certainly can play around with it and see what works. You can use the help menu, which is on the page, that will tell you what each field is, what it is. It'll give a definition of what each of the fields that you can search are. But you still need to have some knowledge. For instance, if I wanted to look at county government records, I could type in county government and I could do a search of that. Or if I know the series, I can just put in, or the collection, RG47 and put it in there, and that would pull it up directly. Most people aren't going to know that. If I was doing tavern license again here and I wanted to narrow it down, you could narrow it down by the level. You could do collection, see if there's anything at the collection level. I could go to series and do a search there, see if there's anything at the series level of our holdings. Again, all those layers, you can check individually those layers if you want, or I could just leave it like that and it'll search every single page. Yes.
So if I do RG47
Mm-hmm.
and say go down to the subgroup level,
Yep.
does that give me a map of RG47 for all of the counties down to the subgroup level? Because that would be a great research planning tool.
If I put in RG47 in there, it's going to search that key term within there. So I'm going to do, where's the subgroup? There's subgroup. So if we did a search like that, I put in RG47, so it's only looking at that. What I have a feeling is you're going to have mixed results. And I'll tell you why, because some of these things are going to have mixed results depending on what you know. Like if you had the series number, certain fields you can put the series number and you'll get a hit, other times you won't. It depends on how it's being read. See, so you're going to grab everything at that level.
Okay. And it's gonna be
The alphabetical order. That's,
It's
yeah,
not going to be hierarchical.
correct. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the way with the search field, when you do a search, a keyword search like that, it will grab and then put everything either in number order or alphabetical order that you're dealing with. It won't group it by basically the hierarchy. But you can structure it to search individual areas. Like if I did Adams County subgroup, then it would certainly pull that for Adams County because it is a subgroup in there. So you can play around with searching just specific areas. And I would say if you do that, series and collection are the primary ones to search under a particular term. If you're playing around with it. But you can play around with this as much as possible. If you want to, if you have some knowledge, again, some knowledge of our collection, you know, record group 47 is our county stuff. You could put in forms part of RG47 and search only those things under there. So if I put it in there and just search RG47, it will just narrow it down to those tavern licenses listed under record group 47. Or if you're looking for maps in our map collection, manuscript group 11, it will only pull up those items that are in there. So those are just all RG47 records that have tavern licenses in it. Yes.
Because I've tried to use this.
Mhm.
The biggest problem I find is when you're in those categories, it's only searching for that word or phrase in the category you select. So if that word or phrase doesn't appear there, and you select the category of, I'll just use item as an example.
Mhm.
Even though that item might be that type of document, if that word or phrase is not in the description, it will not find it. This system will not find it.
Mhm.
And so sometimes I think I know something, but when I put in there, I hit the wrong category or hit the wrong level, and it's not finding it, which is one issue. And let me show something. So the other thing I was going to say is, this is almost better after you've done some searches and you have specific things from the catalog you found before to use. At least that's I found more helpful that way than just to try to go in there and set parameters.
Yes, and that's what you really have to play with. That's why I usually suggest starting at the collection level like we had in the past and work yourself down until you get familiar with a collection or a little bit more knowledge. You can still do a keyword search and it will grab everything within there. And if you're specific enough on that search, it is useful to some level. But once you start playing around with the parameters, you can eliminate things. The one thing that will almost certainly give you a no hit is if I do tavern licenses and I just want to search government type, material type, you will always get, they didn't find anything. It's just the way it does its search feature. Yeah, so yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to example this. First, you want to go to North County Hierarchical Structure. When you do that and then go where the results are, just visually You have that 4-letter abbreviation for county, or would there be from that state a way to search for your county?
It would be come down to how you phrase it. You could do tavern license York, using some of the logic statements to do that. That's where if you're really narrowing it down, you're going to have to play around with the keyword search, because you won't be able to narrow it down specifically to York County in most cases, playing around with these individual components. And if you do, you're going to run into the situation, like Jonathan said, where you're going to hit, you're going to be missing things. That's why I always say, starting at the collection level and working down. You can go under county governments if you know what the county government is. If you don't, you can always just go up here. You can do county. And you can limit it just to collections. You could do York and play around with it. But yes, this system, you have to be very careful, because it looks for specific things, exactly what you put in there. And if it's not exactly right or exact right level, you're going to miss it. And that is just the nature of it. There's really no workaround, other than we do have the research guides. And I'll talk about that later, how we're trying to implement some of that to make it easier to jump in for it. But that's why I recommend the browse. You can search by particular collection title and put county. You can do Department of Education, then going down that way within the holdings. Yep, sure.
I have been having difficulty, like when I get to the series level, when it lists the cartons, I see A numbers.
Yep.
Is there a way that I can tell what's in each box on one list? Because I have to open each A number.
No, you can open up here. I'll do an example here with the tavern licenses. There is a way to do it. And what you would do with it is at the bottom of the list of boxes, they do say list all. They have alphabetical. There'll be a link, and I'll pull it up here to show you. Hopefully this one has a list. Let's see here. No, it doesn't. Let me see how many boxes, if it has any boxes. Okay, let's see here. No, it's just one card. Let's see here. Now, one long way that you could do that, if you're really interested, you could click on View Hierarchy up here, but that's going to list everything under there. It takes a bit to load, but it will show everything that's under that particular series. Let's see here. So for this one, so you can click on that all at the bottom, and that will pull up and list everything in those boxes. So it'll list everything that's there, that's listed, and then you just click on it to get the particular A number for it. So that's the only way that when you have a list, let's say you have a list of 50 cartons, the only way to get them all listed out is either click on that all button at the bottom, or do the hierarchy, which the hierarchy is going to do more than just those boxes. It's going to do everything under there and give you the complete hierarchy under that particular series. But that'd be the way to display it. Yes. What it's going to do is going to pull up that A number page. See, so you have it listed there. So that's all in that box. If I click on this, it won't, item, it will pull up that item page, because every one has its own little page. So if I clicked on that, see, it'll just pull up the item page and just be a listing of that one item.
Don't do it because it takes a while, but if you do click on View Hierarchy, what is the root of the tree that it displays, and what does it go back to?
I believe it goes back all the way to either the group or collection. So it goes beyond that series. That's why it takes forever to open up. But you have on a sheet a hierarchy of that whole group or collection listed out if you do click on that view.
That would be a way of getting a reference reference document. for
It
that
would,
purpose.
yeah, if you want to print that out. Yeah, however number of pages that happens to be. Yeah, that's one way to do it. But that gives you a sense of the catalog in using it. It's very tricky, not intuitive. It's going to take you to different parts of it. I recommend browsing from the collection level and going down and finding what you're looking for. It's the same kind of system as it was before. And with use of our catalogs, you should be able to identify most of the initial collections that you might be interested in a record group or manuscript group. But certainly you can search by keyword. Just be prepared that you might have to go up and down a couple pages to get the information you need to know what you're looking at. It's cumbersome, I know, but that's the system that we have now that we have to deal with the collection and the catalog. Now, for what we have online digitally, you can get through it through the catalog. I'm not going to take you through there. The simplest thing is to, let me get back here, is to go back to our landing page, the Pennsylvania State Archives, click on Research Online, and on our Research Online page that we started with the catalog, you want to click on Browse or Search our digital collections. If you click on that, it's going to pull up all the links both to our website and to other websites where our records appear. It's the simplest and easiest way to get to those lists. Like I said, you can get to it through our catalog. There are links that go directly to the series in our catalog, but again, you're going to have to find that particular record and go through. If you're only interested on what do you have available online, this would be the place to start to explore. Now, what you're looking at is the top three are the main web pages that we have records. You have Power Library, Ancestry.com, PA, and FamilySearch.org. Below there, you're going to have links to specific, yes.
What is Power Library?
I'll tell you in a second. Below there, you're going to have a bunch of links that take you either directly to a particular collection in Power Library or to pages or to links to our web pages like the land records, the death indices, and the indexes. But everything that you need to find what we have online is on this page or links to it that can take you there. We'll start up with the web links. Power Library. Power Library is basically a database run by the state library that they've graciously allowed us to use. So you can access state library stuff on this website also, but they set up a separate page just for us. And this is the home of all the records that we have on microfilm that we're digitizing. Right now, we're almost complete digitizing all the microfilm that we have in our search room. That includes the record group and manuscript group and the county records that we have on microfilm. If you've been to the archives, all those cabinets, they're not going with us to the new building. They're all being digitized. So what we've digitized so far and have been able to put online, you can access through Power Library. And that's where they live for the time being. For Power Library, I would suggest not using the search feature at all. You'll find things, but I suggest not doing it. The best way to find out what we have on Power Library is to browse by the department or subject. It's the best way. And you can click on it. There's a link, browse by department or subject. Click on that. It will bring up a list of the different departments in our collection. Department of Agriculture, Comptroller General's Office, and you can open up any one of those by clicking on them, and they'll list what series we have under there. If you want to, you can click on that series. That will take you to a page that will actually have little thumbnails of the particular record that we've digitized. And then you'd click on the roles and explore those. Now, the one thing I have to warn you about is Power Library is extremely slow. I am not going to open up one of those roles because we might be waiting for a minute for it to open. However, when it opens, you can proceed through it and find what you're looking for. Yes.
So this is the direction for the microfilm.
Yes.
My luck is always put it into a microfilm, and it's one where I have to use the features of the reader to lighten or darken a corner.
Mhm.
Does this let you do that?
No, it's extremely limited. but you can download it if you want. And you can download it as a PDF and then you can adjust it that way. Or download the image and adjust it, but it's very limited. Yes. It's very limited in what adjustments you can do to the individual images.
Yeah, that's fine if I find the image, but often I have to adjust the corner where the page numbers are, because I get the page number from the index and.
Yeah, yeah, it's very limited when you get to that. Yeah. I mean, you can zoom in,
Yeah.
that might help a bit, but you're going to be limited. Yes.
So you're saying you're doing pretty much all the microfilm that you have in the reading room?
Yes.
Are a lot of those LDS films that you purchase or no?
Well, for the county ones, yeah. So this is housing what we have of the record group, manuscript group, and anything that's not someone else's microfilm. So LDS, we're not throwing it up on there.
So you're not doing.
We're not doing-
Stuff like that.
We only the counties that we hold the records for are we putting those up on that we've microfilmed. So if it's been microfilmed under a grant program, most of those are not going up online simply because of agreements that we have. But all of the stuff that we hold in our collection physically is being put on right now on Power Library. So
Not hardly any deeds or.
no, not unless we hold those original deeds, those will eventually get up there. Yeah, but no, all the LDS stuff, you can access that on LDS, and that's LDS microfilm. So we're not putting that up on our website at all. But even that, we have several hundred rolls of our collection that are going up there.
Another question.
Sure.
for you. The patents, they're on Family Search, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Are they on your website or no?
No, they're not on our website right now. Yeah, we're relying on Family Search as the source for those. One, because
They're not real easy to get to.
they're buried in there, but in accessing them and using them, they're going to be better than Power Library. And that's the reason why we're relying. If it's on Family Search, we like their database, and it's a lot easier to manipulate the images and do stuff on there. So we're leaving it on there for the time being. In the future, that may change. But right now, what we have been digitizing of our collection that's on microfilm, we're putting it on Power Library to search. And yeah, there are some limitations to it right now.
Yeah, as a big microfilm user, I'd like to see Power Search get to at least what I can do in your reading room before you get rid of the microfilm access.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's no room in the new building for it. So it will be the Power Library that we're going to be dealing with largely. That's not to say that we're not looking at options. We're working with Power Library. We're seeing what's available. So hopefully either Power Library will speed up and will make it more useful, or there might be another solution. But that's what we have right now to access those. But you can go under there, you can go into the department, or you can go by subject listing, which might be easier for some folks if they don't know a particular record group or manuscript group or who would have created the record. You can click on there and go through Revolutionary War period. Click on there, see what all the stuff that we've digitized from our collection and put on there. You can look under Civil War, see what we have, and use it. But if you do, just keep in mind, it is slow. There are limitations to it, but you can access it. You can download the images from there. You can print them out if you need to.
This does not include any of the land records, right?
Not right now, no. We have digitized the land records. Some of those may eventually get on there, but where Family Search has had with the patents and the warrants.
Are the warrants still on your website? Or no?
The warrants are on Family Search. Also, I'll show
You
you.
used to have the indexes.
We have the indexes. The indexes are still on our webpage. Yeah. So if you were the copied survey books, yes. Yep. So if you were to go on this page, if you click on the land records link, that will take you to all those indexes that we have for the land records on our webpage. Now, up next is Ancestry.com, which we've had for a number of years. We're all familiar, or most of us are familiar with that. You put in your zip code, you sign up for a free account, you can access the records that we've put up online. It really hasn't changed much over the years. Well, recently, I should say, with additions. Although, if you've looked just in the past 2 weeks, 2 weeks, they have the birth certificates up to 1913 now. They just added those up on there. They do have deaths up to the 1968. But for the most part, that's the only part that's grown recently with the pandemic and everything like that. If you haven't heard of Ancestry.com PA, you can access it from here. You can access it from our landing page. It's just basically whatever we have in our collection that Ancestry has scanned is made available to Pennsylvania residents. You enter in a zip code, click on the link it gives you, and then it'll list all the different records that came from our collection that you can search and browse. The trick is you're going to have to do a free account, and it is something that you're going to have to get used to how Ancestry has things set up. It's very easy to be pulled off of Ancestry.com PA and end up on Ancestry.com, the regular site. The best thing that I do is I usually click on whatever collection I want to search, whether that be birth records or marriage records, birth certificates, or land warrants that happen to be on there. I click on that, and then I log in, and then I start exploring. I would show you the page and go through it, but it just recently changed again how they had the layout. But it takes playing around with, but you can access those free on the website once you sign up for that free account. And I'd recommend always coming back to access Ancestry.com through our webpage. Don't save it as a bookmark. When Ancestry does something, or if we do something, those bookmarks don't always work and they stop working. And that's usually when I get a call. You know, Ancestry's not working anymore. What's going on? Did you clear your cache? Did you bookmark it? You know, is it, you know, do you need to put your password in again? That's usually 99% of the time that's the problem. So I'd say don't bookmark it. Write down your password, stick it on your computer like I do. Have it right on my computer. Then I just log in again each time. That's probably the safest way to do it. All right. And last is family search. Now, family search, we don't have an arrangement with. They basically, as most of us know, they've started digitizing everything. They stopped the loaning the microfilm out, and they've been digitizing all their microfilm. And they have a lot of microfilm from our collection that they have begun to digitize, and that's fine with us. And one of those major ones is brought up before are the patent books that are in our collection, the warrant, the original warrants from our collection, the original applications from our collections are on there, along with assortment of other things. They have Supreme Executive Council records from Record Group 27. And then they have a whole bunch of county records that we have on microfilm are on there also that you can access. There isn't a good way on Family Search that I have found to list everything that's from our collection. You can't use Pennsylvania Archives. You can't use PHMC. They use different titles, different creators. What I usually do if I want to access a specific record, I think about what is it a county or state level record, and that's what it usually dictates my search. I would go under catalog. If I was looking for the patent books or the original warrants, I would go under the catalog as I would with any county if I wanted to look to see what they have for a county. And for a place, I just type Pennsylvania and do a search that way. And then they give you that page with all the subject listings there. And for land records, for our land records in our collection, the patent books, original warrants, you'd want to click on land and property. And then everything under there is in alphabetical order. So if you're looking for applications, they have applications listed there, application for warrants. The trick usually is there's so many that you have to hit show more. So you can't do a search on page to find what you're looking for. But as you scroll down, you'll eventually get, they have original warrants. Click on that. Patent books are on there.
I'm thinking unless you have a reference to the exact book, you have to look.
You have to hit the indexes. Yeah, the indexes on our webpage. Although they do have indexes on here, ours I find are easier than going through there. So hit the indexes on our webpage for these state land records for the patent warrants.
Your county stuff, I believe.
Yeah, if you use highly stuff. Yep. Yes.
That's what I was going to ask, because there isn't, you can't narrow it down like New York County.
No, not from the, no, you would really have to hit the indexes, go through the warrant registers, and play with it that way to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, why are they locked?
Oh, because I'm not logged in.
You're not logged
Yeah,
in.
you have to log in on your free account or password. That's why it shows the key above that. I'm just not logged in to do that. But you. Mhm.
In through the archives website to get the family search, we can get to this lot.
Well, what you would have to do is you'd click on Family Search. You can go directly to Family Search, and you have to set up your own free account with Family Search. No, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can from home. Yep.
It's not locked like Jefferson here.
Yeah, it's not locked. Yeah, you could access this from home. Some of the things are locked on there, but you have to put in your password, yeah, and then see which one shows up locked. Those aren't the original warrants of patent books. If I were to log on here, then it would show up there. Yeah. If you were on site at the archives, we have our own password that, yeah, you could then access it that way. But from home, you would have to go to Family Search, put in your own or create one, and then you'd be able to view those and print them off.
The History Center has a password too, and we're an affiliate of Family Search, so a lot of the locked records that might be at your home, they might be able to access to you.
Yeah. So if you're looking at like the militia accounts, I know those are locked if I just try and go under my account. But yeah, if you would come here, they have their affiliate, so that you could access some of those things. But for our patent books and original warrants and stuff, those are not locked. That if you just logged in, you could access those from home using your own password. Yes, sir.
When does the 1950 census go on?
Well, that's the National Archives. What is it, next year? That hits the 72 years, April. What's it? Yeah, April 22. Isn't it around April they usually do that?
6 months. I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah, so next year. And it should pop up probably, it'll be all electronic like they did for the 1940. And it's just a matter of hunting that down. Yeah. Yes.
There's a few questions on Zoom.
Sure. Sure, we can take a look at those. Oh, you need to come here. All right.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Is there a handout? Please.
No, we don't have a handout.
Sorry, we can't do that.
Oh, what does it mean when it says legacy? Now they're referring to our catalog. Legacy, we have some old legacy pages. Those are from even before Archon that we still have. They're old HTML pages. We refer to them as legacy pages that we still have and still use just because we haven't gotten to that point in updating some of the things in our new catalog. Because like I said, it went live in January of 2021. So we have certain collections where we have the old finding aid link there to it. Sometimes it's just for convenience because some people it's useful to use some of those old listings. Sometimes it's because we haven't updated those yet. So that's why that's what the legacy stands for when you come across it. Descriptions to items. The question is, do you plan to add descriptions to item records in the future? It's a possibility. It does have that functionality to it. In some of our collections, the items are descriptive. But that's probably a little bit far off. We're kind of looking at the bigger picture now because we're going to be moving. We want to have at least our boxes identified and everything sorted that way for the move. And we're pretty far along with that. Right now, they're working on some of our map collection. In fact, they have to create an A number for each map. That is going to be an individual item. So that one is going to have a description at the item level. So eventually, a lot of them will. But there'll always be ones that really won't have a description at the item level. It'll probably be at the series level for a lot of them. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll repeat the audience questions. I didn't know if you could on there. I'm sorry about that. Will county tax records go online? Eventually, the ones that we hold in our collection, Franklin County is one that we hold the original. Okay. Oh yeah, I can see the name. Yeah, yeah. They will eventually, they haven't been digitized. We are continuing to push things up on there. So they will eventually, unfortunately, I can't give you an exact time. You could send us an email and I could forward that and see if they have at least an idea of where it is on the list to be uploaded. Yes.
I know a lot of the tax records are like pre-1850 are on Family Search.
Yes, yeah, a lot of the pre-1850 tax records for the various counties are available, yeah, through familysearch.org. And even some of the originals that we hold the originals to are available on there. So you can find some on Family Search, but if we hold the original a record and it's been microfilmed, it is in the queue to go up at some point in time. I just can't tell you specifically what time those will go up. I think I hit all those. All right. So with family search, here, I'll shrink that down. Yep, okay. So family search is a great source for a lot of our records. And it just takes exploring. We do have references in some cases to it being on family search, but we're still working on our catalog. So it doesn't always mention that. So I wouldn't rely on our catalog to reference you to family search directly, but at some point it will reach that description level to direct you there. Yes.
Alex, could there be a possibility that you have records scanned in your system as well, family search, or
Overlap? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the question is, will there be or could there be overlap between what we have digitized and put on, let's say, Power Library or put on our website with something with like family search or ancestry? And yes, there can be overlap. In fact, there is overlap between, let's say, the tax exoneration lists that we have. They're on Ancestry. They're also on family search. We try to keep that to a minimum. Like I said, if it's already been on family search and we've identified it on family search, we've held back because we don't, again, we're kind of overwhelming the Power Library system with just the quantity. I think we have several terabytes, probably more than several terabytes of records on there. So it's a lot that we're putting on their system. So if it's already on family search and it's accessible from home, we are not duplicating it. But they're always putting new stuff up, and there's going to be overlap between. So you can certainly check both to see if there is. I usually do, because I personally like using family search a lot. I like the way they display the microphone. So I always check to see if it's on there too. All right, so I'm going to try, bear with me. I'm going to stop my share here.
Right below.
Right below. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just miss it. And I'm going to. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep that. Oh, I keep on going to that page. It's finding it on here. Is the hard part. Public show. Yeah, I don't see it. No, I'm gonna stick here. I'll stick here. All right. So we talked about what digital collections we have, and the easiest way to access it is to go through Digital Online and explore those. Now, we do have research guides. If you've ever used our web pages before, you're probably familiar with the research guides that we have. And you can get to it through Research Online, or you can get to it through the research guides right off our landing page too. It's a good place to at least get familiar with some of the more popular subjects that we have in our collection and what records we hold for those subjects. We have different genealogy subject listings that you can click on, land records. All of these take you to various resources on our website, whether a list telling you what series or record groups that we have and what information you'd find in there, or in some cases directly to links. So again, it's another place to access our digital collection, but most importantly, the research guides will give you other resources to find information to then use for our catalog. So if I was interested in naturalization immigration, I could click on that and it would tell us a little bit about it. We'll have links that take you in. It'll tell you different record groups that we have. So again, it's another way to get that information that can be used for our catalog. Yes.
Are those colonial naturalizations, are they digitalized?
These, yes, the court of Nisi Prius, yes, they are. They're on Ancestry, so you can access them on Ancestry in one form. But yes, we've also digitized them too. So there's multiple different sites that you can access it. Yep. So those are, at least these are right here, available. But these are pretty, not much has changed for most of these guides, but we are currently working on updating our research guides to link directly into our catalog and to our digital collection. So you don't have to necessarily go into our catalog and hopefully find the record themselves, or have to go to another site to find what digital collections we have. An example of the newer page, at least I'll say stage one of the newer pages, This is War of 1812. What we're hoping to do with that is list out the primary collections that people use for those particular subject headings, and then provide direct links to that series finding aid right into our catalog. It'll also give the series, record series number and collection number that you can use. And if it's been digitized, you'll have a link that'll take you directly to those digital images. So you don't have to click on the collection, open that up, and then search for a series that goes under that. You can go right in here and click on a digital image, and it'll take you right to the landing page so you can start. And it'll also have the related collections that will take you to the collection level if you're interested in it. So we'll break it down by the primary series. We'll have all the links to the digital collections if there are any. It'll also be links, like in this case, that are on Ancestry. So it'll tell you directly. It'll tell you if it's on Family Search. And it'll provide links to it as best we can. Now with Ancestry and Ancestry.com, you have to log in, so I can't do a direct link there. But for Family Search, we try and direct you directly to that page. So if you're looking at patent books, it would link directly to the page on Family Search where the patent books start. So you don't, again, have to go through those levels in Family Search to find. So using these guides in conjunction with our catalog, we're hoping to make it a little bit easier, at least in stage one. Stage two, we hope to provide more listings, just like what was asked earlier about, is there something that provides a list of the record groups? Something along those lines, we hope to add on there too. So again, you could go and see a list of the record groups all on one page. So again, you don't have to think of a name and explore. Anything to make it easier to enter our catalog to find the records that you're looking for. To take away all those steps, and clicking is what we're looking at right now. So these are evolving over the next year, and especially as we're getting prepared for the new building, we are going to be updating these search guides, and there's going to be a lot more flux in them as we try and find a happy medium to make it easier to use our catalog and easier to get to our digital collections that we have right now. Now I'm going to share. Here. All right. Any questions? And this is a picture of the building right now. It's as of, I think, July. From what I've heard, they've gotten more of the walls up for the taller portion of it, and really they're working on the part closest to me. That's where you're going to have the search room. So that's where they're working on really right now. So it's on slate to open, well, not open, but to be completed June 2022.
Facing north?
The front, well, no. If you're sitting in the search room here and you're looking west. Oh yeah, this is looking north. Yeah. It's kind of, about north. Yeah. That's on 6th Street. It's between Harris and Hamilton on 6th Street, in between 6th and 7th. It's right near the federal courthouse building, just one block further north. So it's nearing completion. And when in preparation for that, everything's up in the air. There's going to be a lot more changes to requesting records and so forth as we move into the new building. So any questions? Yes.
Couple questions.
Sure.
Sort of specific about two different collections, things that you have in your collection. The passenger list from 1727, the oaths that people had to swear to
Yes.
foreigners. Are those digitalized on your system or not?
Okay, so the first question is, are the ships list of German passengers 1727 to 1808 digitized? Yes, they are digitized. They are available through Power Library. They're under record group 26, or you can browse under subject listing.
Are they good scans or are they so? Is Strasburger making better or not?
They're not too bad. They're off the microfilm. The microfilm, depending on, they're not too bad. Honestly, they are readable. You might find some that, are dark off the microfilm.
It's a question of whether things are questionable in Strasburger and maybe are they worth looking at or are they about the same?
Well, in the second series, I mean, he has those photostatic images of it. So, I mean, if you're looking at that second volume, it's a 1934 edition, if you're looking at that, then you have a pretty good sense of what the signatures are going to look like.
I understand they trace some things over at times.
It's good enough that you can look at on the microfilm and do it. Because I used to print off the microfilm when we had requests.
My other question was, since I guess the early 1900s, you had these survey books of the original surveys. I understand you still have the original surveys.
Yes.
Is there any plan on digitizing those?
The question is, do we have plans to digitize the original surveys? We have the copied surveys on our website. We have plans to digitize the originals. Right now, we don't have a plan for it. They have been digitized because we went through all of the things. So they are digitized. The original ones are digitized. They are in Family Search, but they're locked. Yeah, that you can't access from home unless that's recently changed. Now again, last time I checked, you could check on Family Search.
Probably access them here.
Yes, yeah, if it's an affiliate, yes, you could access
I
them.
don't know how easy they are to navigate. So.
If on the page that we went through, yeah, it'll be, you just go it's under original surveys, not under S for sure, but original surveys. You can click on there, but I believe they're still locked. So if you tried to access them from home, I don't think you'll be successful. But yeah, if you have an affiliate or if you go to one of their family history centers, you can access it. At least the last time I checked.
But just so everybody knows, the State Archives does have very nice color digital scans of the passenger lists.
Yeah.
So if you want to see those online, lobby the State Archivist, like I've been trying to do, to get them online.
Yes, there are good ones that we have, better ones that were done. I think 2011, somewhere around there. I forget when they were initially done. Now there are issues with those too, because it was when we got the new book eye with digitizing those ships lists, and some of them are blurry when you zoom in, but printing out they're usually pretty good. But yes, we do have one sitting there on a drive. I don't know what the plans are. I have never got an answer of what the plans are. But you're welcome to lobby to have those eventually put online.
Well, the ones that I've used,
Yeah.
you can zoom them up to say, I think I zoomed as high as 200%, and you still can see it's still pretty good.
Yeah, zooming in. I'm very picky with mine with this, but yeah, some of the ones that we have scanned that we have on the hard drive, those are much better than what you'd find what's on Power Library. Just because they were done colored.
We're lobbying right now.
But it wouldn't surprise me, once we move into the new building, we are going to have a database where they could access some of the stuff that we have digitized that are on there, on site there.
One more question.
Yes.
I noticed your hours are really only open on Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. Is that
When-
COVID related or also move related? And is that you're going to change your hours coming up?
All right, the question is about our hours. Right now, we're open by appointment only Wednesdays and Fridays. Right now, there's 4 slots a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. That will change after Labor Day. We will be opening by appointment only still, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And we did increase the number of slots from 4 a day to 6 a day, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. But that won't start until after Labor Day. And it looks like that will probably be what the hours will be until at least next year, the beginning of next year. So yeah, after Labor Day, we'll be open by appointment only Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. And there'll be slots in the morning, 9 till noon, and then slots in the afternoon, 1 to 4.
So the hours that were up there were not correct.
Not right now. No, we're going to update them soon, right? Well, this week. We're going to update those because we're going to be going into that. Yeah, so they're going to update them. So then right now on our webpage, it was Wednesday and Friday listed. And then, Thursday was temporarily closed. But, and we'll remain closed Mondays and Tuesdays. And we've been that way for a number of years. Saturdays won't start up again probably until January of next year. Right now. Any other questions? Oh, let's see if there's. Nothing on Facebook? All right.
Well, I want to thank Aaron for this excellent presentation. Very frustrated by the website. Thank you.
That's no problem. Yeah, it takes playing around with, you know, like I say, you'll find your own way. I find my way, and it's the traditional way of just stopping at the collection. And again, I have the knowledge of the collections for the most part that I can work through, but it's a system we're going to have for a while. So yeah. Hopefully the new the research guides and some of the other things we'll put up within the next year will help make it a little bit more user friendly. All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I guess with that, we'll adjourn the meeting.
All right.
For your instruction.